thinks he's off the record, criticising not just any minister, but the Prime Minister of New Zealand. We remember Rodney Hyde going around telling a table of business people that his party, in support of the National-led government, the only problem he had was that Mr Key, quote, doesn't do anything. And that while he was highly regarded, quote, ACT did everything and we are hated. So we had Rodney Hyde going around the place criticising the Prime Minister uphill and down dale, and that had no implication whatsoever on his ministerial role. Rodney Hyde was protected in his job by John Key, despite the overt criticism being made by Rodney Hyde all around the place. And remember, this was only on the occasion that Rodney Hyde was caught out telling this particular story about John Key. We have no idea how many functions around this country the Honourable Rodney Hyde has been going to criticising the Prime Minister behind his back. But as soon as Heather Roy raised some criticism of her leader, Rodney Hyde, he couldn't wait to put the knife into her and to politically execute her yesterday. And then having overseen her political execution, he fronted up to the media conference and simply said, caucus has made a decision. This is a tough day for me. Feel sorry for me. It might be a tough day for Heather as well. Feel sorry for her. I won't discuss what goes on at caucus. Well, I'm sorry, Mr Hyde, but over 12 years as an opposition member of Parliament, that man stood here and railed for higher standards in our Parliament, higher standards in our government, and higher standards from ministers. And when he's finally in the driving seat himself, he does not have the fortitude to get on and deliver to the same standards he demanded from so many other people, which is why there is intense criticism, not only of the way he's led up to events that led to yesterday, but once he finally got rid of Heather Roy, he couldn't even show the leadership required to front up to the public and explain what had gone on. It seems unbelievable that a minister could be dismissed from their portfolio without an explanation being given, and that is what has happened here. Ministers have come and gone over the years on both sides of politics, and there has always been from the Prime Minister or from the leader of the party that they led an explanation as to what has gone on. But it seems here that this has not been the case whatsoever. When John Key would not back his own minister, he had an opportunity then to tell the country why that was. You know, Heather Roy tried to reach out to John Key on Monday night and rang him up and left him a message on his voicemail. John Key wouldn't call him back. But John Key was very quick to ring Rodney Hyde in December when the supposed coup was on to guarantee him that if Rodney Hyde was rolled as leader, the coalition deal was off. In fact, you know, they were so keen to prop up and protect Rodney Hyde, they even talked about having an early general election because of the fact they were keen to have Rodney Hyde stay in his job. So there was constant communication between the National Party and the ACT Party at the time of Rodney Hyde being on the ropes. But as soon as it was Heather Roy's turn to be on the ropes, then John Key wanted nothing to do with it. And in fact, yesterday he said, I have no idea why she was voted out. It is absolutely unbelievable that is the truth. It is unbelievable that this could be the case, because what did Heather Roy say on the telephone to the Prime Minister? Why won't the Prime Minister come out and say, my minister rang me, this is what she had to say, I chose not to reply because it was an internal party matter. And yet yesterday after the dismissal he says, oh, I'll give her a call sometime and tell her that she acted in a professional way and had done a good job as a minister. And in fact, you know, even post the December troubles, Rodney Hyde was running around the country telling people that Heather Roy now is someone that is actually standing up for consumers and saying actually it's about getting prices down for ordinary New Zealanders and for households and getting the quality up. He even went as far to say the ACT Party stands for the Association of Consumers and Taxpayers. We're glad to get that clarification. We always thought it was something else. And now we've got a minister standing up for consumers. He was busy on the Q&A program promoting Heather Roy, saying what a good job she was doing, but yet yesterday he was prepared to oversee her political execution, and the man who campaigned for transparency and openness and accountability wasn't able to live up to his own standards he's preached about. In his 18 months as a minister, he's done grubby deals with the National Party at the expense of the Māori Party and Māori representation on the Auckland Super City by threatening to throw his toys in an outrageous way. He's gone and campaigned against his own deputy leader with the National Party. He's gone around New Zealand criticising John Key because Rodney Hyde in his heart of hearts believes no one's as good as him. He believes he's better than everyone else. And yet when the asset is being applied to him, whether it's his parliamentary entitlements or his ministerial leadership or party leadership, he's not living up to the expectations he put on others and that he touted about himself for year on year. If you're going to execute a political colleague, and Bill English knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of that, at least have the decency to front up and explain what it is. All we have from yesterday is the clarification that John Key will choose Rodney Hyde over everyone else every time, that it's possible to do these grubby political deals behind closed doors and ministers of the Crown pay a price for that, and we finally know that John Boscawen is going to be the new Deputy Leader of the ACT Party. That is good news for Lamington bakers everywhere, but it's not good news for the Parliament of New Zealand to see a Minister of the Crown executed in such a grubby fashion when she was the Deputy Leader of a support party of the government. Rodney Hyde should get up today and explain to the country the sorts of things that he used to demand of others and apply the same litmus test to others that he used to, and make sure he does it to himself. Because if he doesn't do that, he's not worthy of being called a political leader, let alone a Minister of the Crown.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. The Honourable Bill English.